So, Athena, I know we've been chatting already. We've been having a good talk already. And we've decided to put the record on and just spend some time and record and see what happens. And this is all about making a fucking fuss. So please feel free to take up space for you and make a fucking fuss. And I'll be here alongside you. So we've got a good half hour. And if you're up for it and ready, shall we see where we go?
Absolutely. Let's do it.
Okay. And I don't really want to direct you in any particular way. I like to leave the space open for you. So if I hand over, does that kind of put you on the spot, or do you feel comfortable to begin talking?
I'm comfortable. I think we were talking about, I want to talk more about your book and about how, because I'm reading it and I'm definitely here. I'm feeling the lessons that I've learned, and I'm going, wow, I really wish I would have had somebody to hold my hand and kind of tell me, like, hey, this isn't normal. You're not supposed to feel ignored and feel small and all of that. But I'm reading it now through the lens of a coach and through a speaker and what I do with it, which is workplace liberation. And I'm going, so much of this applies to your boss. And like when we see these things, and if we're looking at it through a relationship, we go, oh no, that's wrong. Absolutely, leave him. What are you doing? He's abusive. Leave him. Don't do that. But when we get those same things from our employer, then we kind of hear, oh, that's normal. Everyone hates their job. Oh, it's Mondays. It sucks. You're so lucky to have that position. Yeah. But think about your resource. What are you going to do? And it's like, it's the same situation.
It is.
It's the same effect on your nervous system and just your energy and how you feel and your confidence. But in one situation, it's really bad. Leave him. Oh my God, I'll get the shovel. And the other time, it's like, just suck it up. You're being sensitive.
Yeah.
And I think that how did we get so disconnected that we can't put them together?
Yeah, because it is all about systems. It doesn't matter if it's a family system, a relationship, a big friendship group, or at work. It applies across the board. And equally so, I think it applies in terms of the leaving, because, well, I know it'll be slightly different. We get this job, you've got your job, and we're going to want to hang on to it. And then we make all the excuses under the sun why we're going to stay with them. Yeah, it's exactly the same thing. And there's all the oxytocin, I call it, that love bond hormone. That keeps us in there too, because there's the colleagues. We kind of fall in love with everyone. They're like my sister, they're like my brother. I can't leave them. And if I leave them, they'll have more to do. And we feel guilty. And so it's all tied in. It's practically the same thing. It's just the workplace or home or with a partner. So I get this completely. And the added thing about money. We need the security. We have to stay, because without that, how do we feed whoever and pay the gas and etc., etc.? And it keeps us tied in. It's like a chain. It's like being chained down somehow. We psychologically believe we must stay. It's going to be so hard to change anything.
Yeah. I think it diminishes our belief in ourselves and like our confidence that like, I'm going to figure this out. And we just get so tied up in the, that pays my rent.
Exactly. I'll stay another week. It'll be okay tomorrow. We tell ourselves all sorts of stories to stay stuck inside that system.
And then there are people, so this is like the perspective of somebody who like understands that this is bad, but I stay. And there's so many other people that don't even don't even understand that that's not normal.
No, they
It's not
think this is
normal
just
to
how
drag
it is.
yourself. Yeah, everybody hates their job. Everybody feels like this at work. Everybody wants to, off themselves because of work, but we do it because, my mom did it, my sister did it. And it's like you need someone to really kind of say, no, it's not, that's not how it should be.
No. And that, if I understand correctly, that is what you do for your work.
Yes.
You help people who are in jobs that are not happy, content, being treated well.
Mm-hmm. I help them leave so that without the oh my God, I just left and I gave up all of my income and now what the fuck do I do?
Yeah.
I help them leave safely and kind of come up with and maybe they don't leave. Maybe they find a way to make it work, but I help them realize that their own power to connect with themselves and to not feel like I'm trading my soul for a job, to make the exchange more even.
Yeah, yeah. And what you said there about, we don't have to leave, we can stay, and we can do things differently. It's very hard to do things differently. We have to physically, well, I believe I have had to physically get myself by the scruff of the neck almost and say, you are not going to tolerate this. You are going to go say XYZ. You are going to definitely do things differently. In which case we change our neural pathways then start to change. And then it becomes a new habit, if you like, a new way of being. But it's so, so scary initially. It's terrifying.
You definitely need somebody somebody to hold your hand through it. So again, that's what I do.
Yep.
Because I'm noticing that when I was looking for a job, my business is not successful enough yet where I can just do that as my only thing. So I need a job, and I've had to take my business off what I do. Like, I don't do it anymore. So I have a resume that actually has my resume, and I have a resume of just my customer service job. So it looks like I have gaps in employment, and I'm like, I was just personal development. But jobs don't want to hear that. They don't want people that are
any gaps.
educated and understand themselves. Because then they're harder to manipulate.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm wondering what would be really useful here for you right now where we are, because I'm hearing about what you do and what you can do and what you've been through of late, and now you've got this new job and you've really vetted them, haven't you?
I have.
You've really thought about this, no, I might be, in survival mode right now, but no, not you are not the right employer.
Yeah, it took a while, and I asked questions, they're like, are you nervous system, or are you a trauma informed, which I don't think anyone's going to understand, trauma informed, but do they do what they say they're going to do on paper? Do they live that? And even in jobs you love, there are things that you're like, oh my God, I'm going to kill someone. That happens. It happened when I was in the theater, and I absolutely love that. But it's just kind of like, do I see any apparent red flags?
Yeah.
And when I asked her a question and she kind of went around it, I was like, yeah, no, that job isn't right. And so they told me that, well, we've gone with someone else. I'm like, good, because I wasn't gonna accept it. And I even got a job I think this was the last time I was looking for work back in March, where she wanted to hire me, and I told her absolutely not, because I had walked in and seen the way that she had spoken to the people on her team. Somebody had asked for help, and she totally blew them off. And then the way that we interviewed, I was just watching all of her cues, and I was like, no, nope, not doing this.
Not a safe place for you to be.
And she wanted to hire me, and I had to tell her why. And she said, why? Well, can I ask why? And I said, yeah, it was you. It was the way that you approached it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I wonder how that went down.
I don't know what happened after, but I know that she wasn't happy with what I told her. And I said, well, do you know what I do? And she goes, well, I'm on LinkedIn and we're worth this much money. And I said, why don't you pull me up on LinkedIn? That might give you some some insight as to why I'm telling you this. But I've had to also change my LinkedIn because my battle cry is that your paycheck should never cost your mental health. And I have my other battle cry, which is life is better with a soundtrack, because music is one of my favorite tools to use. But I'm like, so while people are looking at me, let's not scare them off, because I do need a job to provide my family. And kind of in this, I've also realized the 9 to 5 isn't the enemy.
Okay.
So I heard Rick Rubin, he is a music producer. And he was talking about, he's very, very successful. He's somebody I respect. You may not know him, but
I don't.
It's okay. And he was kind of saying that, the 9 to 5, if that's the catalyst that funds your dream, as long as you don't give up on your dream, it's fine. And so for me, the 9 to 5 is what keeps my lights on and keeps me working towards my business, which is what I'm doing as a keynote speaker, coach. But I've tried to say, okay, I'm going to go all in. And then when that didn't work, it got scary and I had to go back to work. And then I think the universe just gave me the worst toxic job ever. That was really bad. And it messed me up. It ate at my confidence as much as I tried to not do it. And I thought that I knew what I was doing and I could fix it. But realizing how bad that messed me up. And so now I'm kind of in this place where I'm like, yeah, this is what I do with my clients. But I'm kind of bouncing back and just realizing how important your basic needs are.
Absolutely.
And I'm talking like food, water, shelter, basic needs, like basic needs.
Yep. Without that,
you can't do anything.
No, we can't think even. Well, I can't think straight when I'm in that survival state. No, it's impossible. And so you have really been through the mill.
I have. And I think this time has been rock bottom.
Yeah.
This has been like the worst fix that John and I have found ourselves in the 12 years of figuring shit out. This has been the hardest time. And but it also was kind of like, it's a do or die moment. Because I was like, well, if there was ever a time to post what you want to post, do it now.
Yeah. Yep.
In
a way, it freed you up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
Because I made a reel about that interview where I had asked her a question and she completely just didn't get it. And I was like, oh no, like, no matter how broke you are, no matter how much you need that job, don't stop looking for the flags, because then you get into a job where you're like, oh, I'm stuck here and now I can't stay.
Yeah.
This is the golden handcuffs of like, well, it's applying, it's providing for my rent and my basic needs, but I hate who I am at this job. My plan was that I was going to use my PTO, go to Vegas for my brother's wedding, and then quit when I got back. And they fired me the Monday of that week. And I knew it was coming. My boss was about as subtle as a gun, so I knew it was coming. And I was like, okay, cool. Like, all right, fire me, whatever. And so I was a scapegoat, and I'm like, that's cool that you can put the blame on me. And what I wish that my coworkers would have understood, there's only 5 of us, and when I quit, there was 2 of us left. And so I was like, that's cool. He got rid of everybody, but the problems didn't fix. So you think that the problems are gone because of me, but now there's nobody to save you when he comes for you guys.
Yeah. So just 2 of them left doing 5 people's work.
Mm-hmm.
And you were the one that got blamed.
Yeah. So they fired one a couple months ago, and then one girl quit on her own because she recognized it was bad, and they fired me because I was the one speaking up, and so the other two were kind of stuck in this people pleasing. Oh no, don't say that, but would DM me on the side. Oh, I love that you said that, but then would throw me under the bus
in their faces.
When he was around, and I was like, that's cool, you got rid of me, but there's no one to protect you when they come for you.
No.
So I'm just like, okay, I'm done. And in
how it's
quitting,
working out for them.
I don't know. But I hope that company goes under. I hope that they are not financially successful. That job is hands down the most toxic job that I've ever worked.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody at that job, so if that job goes bankrupt, I would love nothing more. I would love nothing more for them to lose all of their funding and go under, because they're so dangerous. They said that they were for women, and they played on a vulnerable population, and they were not.
No.
And the way that they did it, it was like, at least you're not for all women. You're for women of a certain tax bracket. So I was okay with getting fired, and I was like, I was going to quit anyway, so whatever.
Yeah. You were free.
Yeah.
And the two left stuck there, the people pleasing two, they might find that very, very hard to resolve the issues that are going on there. Because as a people pleaser, that's almost an impossible position to solve any problems.
Like, the problems there ran really deep, and it was just, getting just side messaged by both of them that, oh, thank God you said that. Oh, I love that you said that. I could never say that. And then getting thrown under the bus was like, okay, cool. I know who you are.
That's a very painful place to be. It's an extremely lonely place to be that scapegoat.
Yeah. Because I wrote about it, and field reports I wrote every week, and just I'm kind of out of step with my punk community right now for a couple of reasons, but I'm a punk in that, anarchist, defy the government, put your fist in the air with middle fingers saying fuck you. That runs real deep. I've been that way, I think, since I could talk. So it's not just like, oh, it was that teenage phase. No, there are people that will tell you that I've been that way since I could talk. Including my late mother. That was a story she loved to tell. My defense was, don't raise children in a bar, but whatever. And I can't stand when people aren't authentic, and I don't like that two-faced, saying what I really think to your face, and then I throw you under the bus in public. That is so just inexcusable for me, I think, is the word I'm trying to get at.
And the interesting thing I'm thinking of is that now you've gone, because you were the scapegoat, and there's only 2 left. Might they have brought in some more, or was it just going to be the 2?
They were trying to bring in some more as I was leaving, and I don't know how that's going to work. I didn't know anything about them.
But someone's going to have to be the scapegoat now you've gone.
Yeah, someone's going to have to pick it up, because, our boss was completely feckless and had no morals and no integrity, and was perfectly fine to prey on the fact that they were people pleasers. And just, it's disgusting, and I would never sit quiet while that happens.
No. So I guess to be to have our ears on the walls where you used to be. It might be quite interesting today to see how all that's panning out. But I don't think it'll be going very well.
No, like they haven't collected their equipment from me yet. So I still have a laptop that I'm like, do you want your stuff back? Because I don't want it, but like, send me a label. And I mean, it's been 2 months. So for me, I'm like, if you do business that way, that explains why you haven't got into your own funding. Like they're still going on their seed money and they're investors. They haven't become profitable yet. I'm like, that's why. It's part of the reason why is you don't have a good business systems in place. You don't have good business systems in place to know what's going on.
No.
But you'll put that on as if it's the employee's fault. And it's like, it's not their fault. It's not my fault. It wasn't my team's fault. It was your fault for like the financial decisions that are made in rooms that we're not even part of, but you're going to spin it so that we're kind of like second guessing what's wrong with us. Oh no. And it's like that chips away at your confidence and your self-esteem.
Absolutely.
Just having a supervisor that like actively puts us against each other, and it's like that no one should work in that. So I'm hearing all of your truth bombs, and I'm like, yeah, they definitely apply to an abusive husband, but I just had an abusive supervisor that this also fits for.
Absolutely. 100%.
I just want people to know that that's not right. It's not normal. It's not right. Walk away.
Yeah. And the belief systems run deep because they're raised on that. They see their parents hanging on to a job that is toxic. The dad or the mom or whoever's coming home, miserable, depressed, can't cope, but gets up the next day and goes back in there for another day ahead because they're so trapped and caught up in, everything they're caught up in that keeps them in it, including having kids and a home, etc. It is so difficult.
But some of the pain is also like, women are fantastic, but women can hurt other women. And so it's like my teammates were all other women. And some of the leaders of this company were other women. And this is a company that claims to serve women because women are ignored. And I'm like, but you're doing harm to them. And so I want to help people see through bullshit, like in scenarios like that, but also just in everywhere, that you don't see things at face value, that you really can dig deeper. And have you ever been in a situation where something happens and you get home and you're like, I wish I would have said that, or something?
Of course,
start realizing things and you're like, why didn't I think of that then? But I want to help my clients bridge the gap so that they don't have to wait hours. They get it right then.
I think in the moment, this is me talking as a therapist now, in the moment it's very difficult when we come under fire. We kind of shut down, our brain gets anesthetized, we can't think clearly, we're basically back in survival mode, we're trying to cope under incredible pressure. And it's really, really hard to function in those circumstances. And so that's, I think, when we go home and we start to regulate again, our nervous system sort of comes back online. That's when we can kind of reflect on, I wish I'd said that, wish I'd said this. And it does take a lot. I think it's quite a big system that we have to break through, so many parts to it, because we've probably been raised, don't speak to your elders, respect management and respect the doctor, any authority figures. So we're raised on all of these beliefs, and then we're in survival mode in the office or wherever we're working, and we're coming under fire. So we've got a lot of pressure from like cultural parent, critical parent. We go home, then we can get back into fight mode and think, damn it, I should have said X, Y, Z. But it's impossible in that moment until we do the work. And that takes time. That's from my perspective as a therapist.
I want to help you do that work so that you can think of those things faster in the moment, to realize when someone's trying to gaslight you or bullshit you or pull the,
Yeah.
they're manipulating you, to be like, no, you're not doing that with me.
Yeah. It just
And
takes that. It's a deep process that we work through, I think, of becoming aware of. We have to become aware of so many things and work through those. And then we get to the space where we can be in that place and, excuse me, hopefully not get into a sort of fight with them, but a more assertive space where we'll say, this just isn't, you can't talk with me like this.
yeah.
And it's interesting, once we do start to actually stand up for ourselves in a different kind of way, like a potent sort of way, how things can change with management, because they decide we're actually not such a pushover and we're not going to people please with them, and we're going to stand up for ourselves. And it can be really wobbly making doing it. I remember so many times when I stepped up for me, and I might have been actually shaking or very tearful at the time, but I was breaking through so many beliefs that I'd been raised on, really. That's what made me so shaky. The trauma was being dealt with in the moment. And I still stood my ground, even though I cried. And sometimes I'll say now, I will tell you, I'll give you that feedback. I might cry while I do it, but it doesn't mean there's anything wrong with me.
Yeah.
And I will manage to do that thing. But then, of course, there's the other person, because once we start being tearful, it depends who it is. I've had a male say to me, oh, you and your crocodile tears, and you're just manipulating. But actually, in that moment, I was being very vulnerable. But they just weren't able to give me that moment and believe that I was just being me, authentically me in that moment. It takes guts.
It's really hard too when your vulnerability gets like thrown back at you.
Absolutely.
And it's like, if you have a say in whether someone gets a paycheck or not, you should be trauma informed. Not therapist level, but like understand the ramifications of your actions on somebody's like livelihood. And so people are like, well, you shouldn't live, you should have savings, and that's great. That's nice. I've gone through my savings, and a lot of people are also like me, where one paycheck could put you homeless.
Exactly.
So understand where you're coming from, and how the way that you talk, or the way that you word things, the way that your body language when you're talking to somebody is going to be perceived.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, I'm 4'10", so I'm really short. And I was talking to this supervisor when I was working in person, and he was like 6'5". And the way that he would talk, he would like kind of be in my face, and I had to like lean back.
Yeah, really.
And I caught myself doing that, and I was like, no, we're not doing that. And so I like stood, I like planted my feet in a fight stance, and I squared my shoulder, and I was like, step back.
Yeah.
Like, give me space, because I don't like that you're leaning over me, and I feel like I can see that I'm arching back, because you're like intimidating me, and whether you mean to or not, like I'm going to stand my ground and say, back up.
Yeah. Yeah. And did he listen to you? Did he step back?
He did.
I'm so glad to hear that. And I'm imagining, I don't know if I'm correct or not, but I'm imagining that somewhere in him, he has a mother that he learned to respect, so he could hear you say, back up. I might be wrong, but I've got a funny feeling that could be the case. Completely.
Oh, I wear combat boots to work, so that could be it too.
Okay. But
hopefully it's that you have, your mother, your wife, your sister that you can respect.
Yeah. It's not the case across the board, though.
Sure. No, it is not.
It really isn't. No. I think you and I have both been through some really hard times in the workplace.
Yeah.
And we're not alone. I know for sure we're not alone in that. And I hear the work that you do will be so, so useful. I'm thinking, might you be writing a book?
I am.
You are?
And I am finally. I know we talked about writing a book the last time that we spoke.
Okay.
Um, I'm outlining it, and I've been through so many kind of like, you should do it like this, and you should do it like this, and I've settled on the fact of doing it the way that I want to do it, which is
Good.
to tell my
That's
story through music and lyrics.
okay.
Um,
Cool.
and so I'm kind of doing that, and I had this moment where I was like, well, can I do that? Has anyone done it? And it's like, well, fuck it, do it, be the first.
Absolutely.
Like,
Yeah. 100%.
who says you can't do it that way? Do
Yeah.
it.
I think if you do it your way, it will be much more comfortable. And I was really questioned about the way I wrote, as in all the white space, because I make sure
Yeah.
lots of white space all around the words. So, well, people are actually doodling, they're making notes and doodling as they read, but I didn't want to overwhelm because there's a lot of what I say can be very overwhelming. So I stuck to my guns and wasted all that white space. But actually, it was for them, the readers, to be more at ease. And it is a trauma-informed way of writing. So that was, that was me standing my ground. And I think if you stand yours and, do it your way, it's the best way.
Yeah, because I think how I kind of came upon like, okay, I want to be a coach, and what I want to coach about was like, it was kind of given to me, but it started with being in a mosh pit, fist in the air, saying, fuck the man. And I was like, fuck authority, silent majority, and then going, hang on, the man pays for your rent. So put your fist down because you need the man. And then kind of just being like, other people also feel like that, where it's like, I work for this corporation or this business that is not aligned with me, but I need it to pay the bills.
Yeah.
But then I, go and scream in a mosh pit, and but I'm not living what I'm saying.
Yeah. And having to be very flexible, coming and going, thinking about the different kinds of CVs. Like right now, survival mode, I need this kind of CV, but I'm not giving up on my business. I'm still, working on that. For a long time, I was in between being a therapist and a florist. And I was having to do both, half and half, as the training of this was coming along and I was almost qualified. And then letting go of this, my other business that I had, it was really, really hard to do the letting go of this, which was pretty successful and very well established. Whereas this was brand new, had no idea what was going to come of it, if it would work or not, but I had to commit. So it's really hard to be in that, like 1 foot in here and 1 foot in there. And when do we take that foot out? And it's not easy. Not easy at all.
It's not. But
No.
I am lucky that I have done the work for me. I've done the work that I guide my clients through. So now I mean, this is the worst fix that we've ever been in. But I think, like, I think the universe, God, goddesses, all of that, that I've done the work, and that I'm not me 5 years ago, me 2 years ago, me a year ago, trying to, because I don't know if I would come out of it.
No, you can really stand your ground and assess. Although I'm in survival mode, I'm not that desperate. No, thank you. And
Yeah, and
wait.
it's just, that was a really, really big realization of like,
Yeah.
I'm still in a place where I can discern and I can still put them, because I'm also interviewing them.
Yeah.
So I can say, as much as I would, love a paycheck, not from you.
Exactly. That sounds like a great place to begin your book. It's very inspiring.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm glad that it wasn't. I just want to help people. I just want to help somebody else who's also, crying how you're going to pay rent, and just to know that there is support and that there are good people, there are good companies that are out there.
Yeah.
And I mean, so much of what I want to do is I want to be a good employer myself. Like I want to have a studio, I'm going to have a company, and I'm going to employ good people because I know what a bad employer is.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes. And I can feel that as you say it. Like I know it. I hear you and I know it. Yeah.
Thank you.
Oh, Athena, we're going to have to say goodbye for now. Time's gone so fast. It's been really lovely to spend that time with you.
Yeah, thank you.
And
Likewise.
do take care of you, and hopefully we'll check back in again soon.
Until next time.
And take good care of you.
Bye,
Bye-bye.
Kassi.